Welcome to Playing for Second. I'm Josh, and today I'm going to be playing through Mech Bunny. This is a recent GameFound fulfillment from the Solo Game of the Month by Gabe Barrett, and this is a roguelite deck construction, alien battling game. This is obviously a solo game. We are going to be playing through the first of the scenarios in the book. So the book comes with 3 sets of scenarios in this little book here. An easy, a medium, and a hard. We're going to be playing on the easy mode. Currently, I've only played the tutorial, so I understand how the rules work, but I have not played through any of the campaigns yet, so we're going to see how that works today. So join me at the table, and I'll fill you in how the game plays. So as I mentioned before, Mech Bunny is a scenario-based boss battler. Let me read you the flavor text here. It says, "You are a Mech Bunny, a fearsome warrior trained to protect your kind and planet. When returning home from a routine mission, you were struck by an asteroid and crash-landed on an uncharted alien planet, a planet that is absolutely riddled with hostile creatures. It is a good thing that you got all the raddest tech, because you'll need to survive it long enough to fix your ship and return home." So, cute little theme, adorable art, not a whole lot of explanation of why we are a Mech Bunny or where we were going, but I think they kept it intentionally vague. So like I said, this is a hand management, card crafting type game. So we have our deck of cards. We've got the scenario already set up. Let me kind of show you what the scenario book looks like. The first scenario is just a tutorial. Like I said, I've already played through that. We're going to be starting on the Explore run. So this is set up into 3 different runs. Each has 3 different scenarios that you have to play in order to win that run. So we are starting with the Explore 1, searching for intel. It says we need to find our plasma shield that fell from the ship when landing. So we're trying to basically get the stuff that we need, get back to our ship, and make a run for it before these aliens catch up with us. So like I said, I've got this set up. We unlocked a card number 13. You'll see it as we play here, but I've replaced that with one of the other 12 cards. So you always play with 12 cards. So when you unlock one, you have to choose one to take out of your deck. This is the one that I chose, card number 4, if you're interested. And then I've got our alien deck set up here, our monster supply, and we've already spawned the monsters that we need to for this scenario. For this scenario specifically, we have to get through all of our monsters, and then we have to put one of our search tokens out onto one of the 3 spawn points. The spawn points are these pink tentacle tiles here. Then we have to go collect that. We have to get through the monster deck one more time to put out the other 2 search tokens, find those, get back to the ship, clear the ship's location, and then we win. That's our immediate win condition. We do have a few loss conditions. There's 3 ways you can lose the game, and we'll kind of talk about those as we go. The main way that you're going to possibly lose is if the monsters give too much damage to your ship. Currently, we can take 2 damage, and on the 3rd damage, we'll lose. The other way we can lose here is if Mech Bunny ever takes heat, which is the form of damage that Mech Bunny takes. If you ever have to take a heat and you can't draw one from the pile, you lose. And then if your spawn tracker over here, which we'll talk about later, ever gets to the end, you also lose. I don't foresee that happening in this short scenario here. So we're all set up. That's how we're going to win. We got to get our 3 search tokens. We got to get back to our ship. We got to get all the aliens out of our ship location, and then we win. One note before I start here, I did upgrade these energy tokens. We're going to be spending these energy tokens to play our cards and move. The cardboard is fine, but they're a little small for my fingers to try to pick up off the table over and over again and flip because you're constantly interacting with these. So I made some thicker, chunkier tokens to suit my needs. So let's get started. We'll kind of talk about the cards and the monsters as we go. Right now I'm going to draw 4 cards, and we're going to kind of lay these out so we can see them. All right, so every card has an attack ability on it, as well as some other possible abilities here. And again, I'll talk about them as I play, but in general, the top box here, the top circle, is going to be showing you the amount of damage that this card can do when you do an attack. The middle the middle circle shows you the range that the card has, and the bottom shows you the cost. Currently, all of my cards cost 1 energy, it appears. And to play a card, you have to spend an energy, which just means flipping the token over and paying for your energy costs. And then you get to do not only the attack, but any abilities down at the bottom of the card if you choose to do those or not. So what we're trying to do here is defeat these monsters that are out here on this alien planet. And as we do so, we're going to be gaining XP, which we're going to track with this orange die over here. Currently, we start at 1, and every time this die ticks from 6 back to 1, we get to choose one of these upgrade cards. So this is one of those cool games that has they're just clear sleeves. They might be hard to see on the table over here, but they're just clear little plastic things, and the upgrades overlay when you put them into your sleeves and give your cards some boosts of some sort. Again, we'll talk about them as we get to them. So I think the first thing I'm going to do, Mech Bunny's starting at his ship. He's got to get out here and start doing some damage to some monsters. So let's go ahead and get him moving. I'm going to go ahead and play this card here. So I'm going to spend 1 energy, and we're going to go ahead and move 1 space down here. This is a move 1 action. So I can either do the action down here first, or the attack ability at the top. I can do these actions basically in any order, and if there's more than 1 down here, once you start adding abilities to it, you can do them in any order as long as you complete that action before moving on to a new action. So I'm going to do the move first. That puts me within range 2 of this tile up here. So the board is divided into sections. Each of them counts as a different space. So currently there's 7 spaces, and you have to worry about orthogonal adjacencies when you're talking about range. So I could, from this position, attack back to the ship. I could attack over to this tile. I could attack up to this tile, and then up to this tile, or up and over. So I have a range of 2 with this card. So I'm going to go ahead and range into this guy and deal 1 damage. Now I'm going to track that with this little orange cube here. This monster needs 2 damage in order to be defeated. He's also going to provide me with 2 XP when he is defeated. The caveat is that you have to defeat these monsters in 1 turn. So I'm just going to mark that I've done 1 of the 2 damage this turn, and if it's not defeated by the end of the turn, the damage would go away. This monster also has this entangled icon at the bottom here next to the damage that they do on their turn. And this simply means that if Mech Bunny is ever on the same location, he can't leave there simply by moving. He has to do a jump action, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So this entangled icon is important to keep an eye out for. All right, so we did 1 damage up there. This card is going to go to our discard pile. I'll just start a discard pile over here. Let's see what else we can do. I'm going to need to probably move again. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and play this card. So I'm going to spend another energy. Again, just 1 energy cost on the card. It also has range 2, and it has 1 damage. So I'm going to go ahead and range 2 up here again, do the 2nd damage to this monster, which removes it from play, gives me those 2 XP on my die, and I will go ahead and discard this off to the side. Now, when you defeat a monster, is what this icon shows me. When you defeat a monster with this card, you can go ahead and move 1. So some of the actions down here have some prerequisites. I did meet the prerequisite. I did destroy a monster on this turn, so I get to move 1. I'm going to go ahead and move up 1. So that's going to go to the discard pile. Next thing I want to do, I'd like to clear both of these if I could. I don't know if I have the stuff to do that. Oh, I do, because this ability. All right, so this ability down here, this little chain link looking thing, this is basically lets me distribute damage to multiple targets. So typically when you make an attack, you have to make that attack at 1 target. This lets me actually chain that damage to other targets, which makes sense. It's a rocket launcher. It can probably do a lot of damage. So there's a little title. I don't know if you saw that or not. There's little titles on what these cards are. Right now I have a couple rocket launchers in my hand, so they have some cool abilities on them. So I'm going to go ahead and move so that I can use this. So I'm going to spend 1 energy, and that energy, instead of activating a card, I'm just going to use it to move 1. So I'm going to move over here to this location, and I'm going to have to spend my final energy. Now, when you take your turn, on your turn, you can spend 3 energy without any consequence, but once you spend your 4th, you're going to have to take a heat damage. So Mech Bunny is going to take a heat damage, which is simply one of these cards that's going to go into my discard pile immediately. It's going to come back to me when I reshuffle, and it basically just clogs your deck up. And again, if you ever have to draw one of those and cannot, you lose. So you have to take them sometimes if you want to extend your turn, but you also want to watch them so you're not overheating effectively and losing. So I've gone ahead and paid for this card with my final energy. I'm going to go ahead and do 1 damage here and 1 damage here. This monster here has a special icon on it as well. Next to its health shows a little range icon, which means you have to use a ranged attack for this monster, which I am. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. So because of this chain, I can distribute this 2 damage to both of these monsters. Typically, this cannot happen unless you have this chain ability, which I do. So it's really, really cool. And that is going to give me 1 and 2 more XP. So I'm up to 5 XP. These guys are defeated. All right, this card goes to the discard pile. I'm out of energy, so my turn ends. Any cards left in my hand are going to go to my discard pile. If I had any heat left in my hand at this time, it goes back to the heat pile to be drawn later. So I'm going to refresh all of my tokens here. And then it's the monster's turn. Typically, if there were any monsters left, they would first attack if they were engaged with either Mech Bunny or the ship. If they didn't attack, they would then move. So any other monsters that weren't actively engaged would move closer to the ship to try to get to it. And then they're going to have a spawn phase. So we're going to go ahead and skip the move. We're going to skip the attack, obviously, and we're going to spawn. When you spawn, you bring in 3 to start. So 1 for each spawn location. Then you're going to look over here at your spawn track, and whatever it is on, you're going to spawn additional monsters at those locations. So it says right now 1. So I'm going to go over to my location deck over here, flip 1 card, and it's going to show me where to put the first one. And it says go to this specific location and spawn another monster. Now, the cool part about these locations, it doesn't matter spatially where these monsters end up. They just have to be somewhere touching this location. So I could put it here, I could put it here. It doesn't really matter as long as you are considering this as 1 location. All right, so that was the monster phase. They are done with all of their actions. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into drawing 4 new cards. Okay, so you can see some of these cards. They have range 0. So you can only use those at the location you're at. But I'm kind of in a weird situation because I'm at a location with one of these flying monsters that has the range only attack. So I'm still going to have to use a ranged attack to defeat this monster, even though I'm at its location currently. So that's just something to be aware of as you're playing. So I'm just 2 points here from being able to choose one of these upgrades. There's a lot of really cool upgrades sitting out there right now, so definitely want to get into those quickly. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we can do. Okay, cool. So we're going to spend 1 of our energy, and we're going to play this card here. This card lets me range 1 attack, and when I defeat a monster, I can do it again without paying. So that's what this little circle with the arrow icon means. It means you get to do the card's attack again. So I'm going to go ahead and attack the monster at my location. Again, it is a ranged monster. Even though it's at my location, I can still attack it with a range card, which I am. So I will go ahead and defeat this guy, which earns me an XP. And then I'm going to go ahead and do it again because I did defeat a monster, and I'm going to range up to this monster. And again, do 1 damage to it. And that took me up to 1. Now, when you tick this over, if you don't like your options, you can spend, whenever you're due an upgrade, you can spend XP, so pip back down your XP die, and flush those 3 cards to get 3 new cards. I do, however, like some of these cards that are sitting out here, so I'm not going to do that. This little guy adds more attack. This little guy makes the cost free. And this is an icon for pushing a monster away from your location. I think that I would really like to get maybe that free thing. 4 attack is great, but I don't think any of the monsters in my current scenario are any higher value than 2s. So that feels like kind of a waste. unless I was able to get it onto that chain card where I could distribute it to multiple targets. So I'm going to go ahead and take this card, or this upgrade. It makes a card free to play. And you're usually going to put these onto anything you have left in your hand. If for whatever reason you gain an upgrade when you have already played all of your cards, you're just going to hold on to it until you draw your next 4. I do have cards in my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and play it. And I'm going to play it onto this pistol card here. And they just slide into the sleeve and covers up the current cost. So this card is now free to play. All right, I need to move. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and play this card. So I'll spend an energy, and I'm going to go ahead and perform the jump 2. So again, it doesn't necessarily need to be a jump this time to move, but it does get me the same distance. So I can go ahead and go 1, 2, and get to this location. It's basically the same as a move, but for example, if there was an entangled monster I didn't want to deal with, I could jump over that entanglement and then get out of that without having to stop there. So, played this card. It's at 0 range, and I'm going to do 1 damage, and I'm going to do that to this guy right here. That's going to pit me up to 2. Oops, I forgot to draw my next upgrade card. All right, a little extra range. That's cool. So this card has been played. I am then going to... I guess spend these 2 energy again. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play this energy. And I'm going to play... Oh no, this is free. Never mind. I'm going to play this for free now. So nope, sorry, this one. I'm going to play this for free. And I'm going to do 1 damage over here. All right. It is range 0, doing 1 damage. This doesn't have to be a ranged attack, so we're good there. This is, however, one of those entanglements, so I am kind of stuck here until that monster's gone. So this card was paid for with that energy. And then I'm going to go ahead and play this card for free, which does 1 more damage over here, getting rid of this monster. And because I killed a monster, I get to move 1. I think what I want to do is just maybe move here so that I have access and range to both of these locations with a range 1. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. So I gain 2 more experience, so I'm up to 4. And that's it. I have no more cards to play. I could move with this energy and take a heat. I don't want to do that. So my turn is over. We're going to go ahead and refresh. Monsters would attack. Monsters would move. Monsters are now going to spawn. So again, we're going to spawn 3 here. And like that. And then at this point, I'm out of monsters. I do need to spawn 1 more, so I will have to shuffle my deck. At the time when I shuffle this monster deck now, one of these search tokens comes out, and I'm going to go ahead and just place it at my location because I can pick it up whenever I'm at that location. So I'm going to give these monsters a quick little shuffle, and I'll put 1 more out. This one is coming out at my location currently, so that was a good choice to move last turn. That was pretty good. Lucked into that. So we'll shuffle these, and we'll put 1 back at our location. All right, so it's entangled, so I'm kind of stuck there. These monster tiles are going to be put back on top of those search tokens. When I go through them again, I can bring those other 2 search tokens out, and then at that point, once I have all the search tokens in my possession and get back to the ship and clear it, I win. So, draw our last 4 cards. All right. All right, this was the card 13 that was added from this scenario, and this is more of a defensive card. It says ignore 1 attack if the top discard. So at the end of the round, when you discard cards, or if you play this card and it happens to be on top of the deck, whenever you would take damage, either Mech Bunny or your ship, sorry, you can ignore 1 of those attacks. So we'll keep that in mind. We'll see what we can do here first. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play this card here, I believe. Well, this is an interesting card here. So it's 0 range, 0 damage, but you can play it for free. However, if you spend an energy, you can do 2 more damage. So that's kind of interesting. So maybe I won't play that. Maybe I'll save that. No, I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and spend a token, spend an energy. Whoa! And from 0 range, I'm gonna go do 2 damage to this guy here, which will defeat him and give me 2 experience points. So I'm 1 point away from getting another upgrade. This also lets me move 1 if I want. I don't think I want to. Right. I am in this location with the search token, so I'm going to take that into my possession. I'm actually going to just put it up here over my energy tokens, just to remind me that I have it. From what I understand, the location doesn't have to be fully cleared in order to take the search token. I did look on BGG for some clarification for that. I didn't really see anything that would be against that spirit. So we're going to go ahead and take that. Let's get rid of this next monster. And then maybe we can get this card. Oh, yeah. Get that card upgraded. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and... Oh, this has to be arranged. I have no more range. Oh, no. Oh, boy. So I can upgrade a card and then get rid of that. But I can't get rid of that, so I'm going to have to move. So I guess I will take my move from this monster defeat. I will take my move, and I'll move down here. And that will let me then play this card. So I will spend an energy, and I will play this card, which will let me do 1 damage at range 0, which will take care of this monster. And that will pit me over to 1. All right, I can take a heat in order to jump to. I don't want to do that. I did defeat a monster, which would let me draw a card. I also don't want to do that. So these are all optional, except for the energy cost and the freestanding. If there was just a freestanding heat cost, there isn't. It's conditional. So because it's heat in exchange for jumping, I don't have to do it. So I'm going to be done with this card. But that did what I wanted it to do. It let me get an upgrade, so I can now take this card into hand and play, I think, it on this card. No, it makes no sense. There's no attack there. I'm playing on this card. Oh, boy. Okay. So we've got it here. So I will say some of these upgrade cards are a little misaligned with the cards underneath. Not a super huge deal. It doesn't really affect much. It's just sometimes the cards don't line up properly. All right, I am now going to play this card. I'm not going to worry about being attacked this turn. I don't think I'm going to get attacked. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. It has range 2. It's going to do 1 damage up here, getting rid of... Whoops, forgot to bring this guy in again. Doing 1 damage, getting rid of this guy. That will take me to 2 XP. That was a free play, so I don't have to worry about anything. That's done. I can now... Interesting. I don't know if there's anything I want to do at this point, because I can't use this attack without moving, and I can't move close enough to do any damage there. So what I think I'll do is I will move. So I'll spend my last free energy to move 1, and that just puts me in a position to intercept this monster as it tries to make its way to the ship. So this card will be discarded. When I have to draw cards at the beginning of next round, this is going to tick up my spawn tracker. So the reason I didn't draw a card just now when I had the opportunity was I didn't want to shuffle again and have to spawn 2 monsters this turn. I wanted to keep it to just 1 for now and see what we get at that point. So we are now in the monster phase, and we actually do have some monsters. Nobody is directly engaged with me or the ship. So we don't have any attacks, but we do have a movement. The movement value is here on the left, so this is going to move one space closer to the ship. So it's going to come straight down to my location, and then we're going to spawn. So we're going to spawn 3 new ones, one at each location here, and our spawn tracker is still at 1. So we'll flip the card, and it's coming out to this guy. Okay. Now, at this point, I shuffle. My spawn tracker is going to go up to 2, and I shuffle, draw 4 new cards, and rinse and repeat until we either meet a win condition or lose condition. So, reset our energy real quick. We have to burn through, looks like 2 more monsters have to be spawned, so it'll be at least 1 more round here before we can get access to those tokens, and then I just got to grab them and get back to the ship. My first token came out, I'm going to put a little marker here. My first token came out here. So the other 2 tokens, when they come out, the Explore tokens are going to go there on the other 2. All right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I would really like to get this, or something similar to this, onto this chaining card. Or maybe find I see a chain upgrade coming up, onto a card that has multiple attack value. I feel like it's going to be really beneficial. For right now, let's try to take care of some of the guys we have out here. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and play this card. So I will spend 1 energy. That's going to let me do 1 damage at a range of 1. This is a ranged icon, so I have to do it with a ranged card. Even if I'm at the location, it still works. So that is 1 damage there. So go to 3. I'm then going to, excuse me, I'm then going to get to do it again because I did defeat a monster. So this little icon tells me do the attack again for free without paying another energy. And I'm going to go ahead and range up to this tile here. Taking care of that, doing 1, oh, whoops, doing 1 more XP. All right. What do we want to do? Got to get over here. That would be cool. I don't have enough firepower for it, though. I can't clear these 2. Oh, I see. I could do that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's retcon this last attack here. And instead of taking this one off the board, I'm going to take this one off the board. Same XP value, nothing changes. It just it changes this location a little bit for me. What that'll let me do is now play these and be able to go up here and get that 4 onto this card by defeating this. Oh no, I'll still be 1 short. Never mind. All right, thought I had it figured out. I didn't. So we'll do the, oh, whoops. We'll do, which one was it? It was this guy, I think. They're the same monster. All right. We'll just go with our original plan there. What I will do then, I guess, is play this card for free. Play this card for free, and we will do 1 range damage here, getting rid of this, taking me up to 5. And then I will do my free move because I did take out a monster. That card's done. I will then play this card. Oh no, I could have. No, I couldn't have. Okay. What do I want to do? Could do an... Okay. I could pay for an extra damage with a heat. I could do that. Let's do that. So I will do... I'll pay an energy. I will do a range 1 attack at this enemy here. And... that'll do 2 damage here because I'm going to take a heat to do an additional damage. So by taking this heat, it does an extra damage, and that takes care of this. That then lets me pip up to 1 without having to spend this card, which was my goal. Which then lets me go and grab this upgrade. And now I've got this sweet card that does 4 damage spread amongst some targets. So I'm going to go ahead and use this card then. I'll spend another energy. And yeah, I've only spent 3 so far. Sweet. So spend that energy, range 1. I'll just way overkill this thing just to get it off the board. And then I don't have to worry about it. And that card is gone. I couldn't carry it over anyway. So we are good here now. Monsters are gone. We're going to go ahead and go into their spawn phase. 1, 2, and we shuffle. And upon shuffling, the other 2 search tokens come out at our other 2 locations. So now I just basically have to get those 2 tokens, get back to the ship, make sure there's no monsters there, and I win. This scenario obviously is very much a training wheel scenario. I knew that going into it. The difficulty is definitely going to ramp up, I believe, as we keep going. So we got to spawn another one. Then we got to flip a card. And we are now spawning 2. So we're going to spawn at these 2 locations. 1 down here and 1 down here. All right. And again, we'll draw 4 cards. Okay. I'm at this location. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. And I believe I just have to get up here and get out. So basically I need to spend some movement. I'm currently not entangled. That's good. I will spend this card here. Oops, forgot to reset my energy. Forgot to bring this in. So I'll spend 1 energy to play this card here. That's going to do 1 damage to this guy, because I cannot do it here without range. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy off the board. That will give me 1 bonus there. It'd be cool to maybe upgrade again before the game is over, though. So maybe I'll slow this down a little bit. It'd be nice to take another upgraded card into the next scenario. So this card is gone. It lets me move 2. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, I believe, and go 1, 2, which will get me this 3rd token. Bunch of monsters on the board. All right. He needs range. This is my only card that has range currently. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let's do that. I don't think I really need to worry about it. So we're going to go ahead and play this card. And spend an energy. Nope, it's free. Sorry, it's free. It has range 2, so I'm good. It does 1 damage. So this guy is gone. That goes away. And okay. I guess I'll move and do an attack. Guess I should have just stayed over there and done it. I could just beeline back to the ship. That's an option. But again, maybe I want to wait, get another upgrade, then get back to the ship. So I think what I'll do is spend an energy to move. And I will move over to here. And then I will spend an energy to play this card. And that will do 1 damage at 0 range, giving me another pip there. I can take a heat, I will, to jump to, and I'll jump back to this location. And I did defeat an enemy, so I can draw a card. I will do that, just to see what we get here. Okay, So from range of 2, this guy's going to attack me if I don't take care of it. So I will play this card for my final energy, taking 1 more heat. And I will do 1 damage to this target here, which gets me to 5. That goes away. I'm out of energy. This is free. It doesn't do anything for me, though, so it just goes to discard. And then we're going to go ahead and do the monster phase. This guy will not attack me. He's not ranged, but he will move closer to the ship. So we'll come down here. I'll spawn 3 more. And really, again, I'm just looking to take out 2 more points of damage just to upgrade to the next card, to the next upgrade card. Okay, 4 new cards. Okay, so one of these heat is finally in my deck. Again, it just clogs it. It stays in my hand for now. It'll disappear at the end of this turn. All right, I need to do 2 damage to get to 1. So that is a bummer. I would like to do 2 quick damage and get out of here, but I only have 1 ranged card. Lets me move 1. Okay. Okay. So I will spend this card to... Whoops, let's reset these. Keep forgetting that. So I'm going to spend 1 energy. I'm going to do 1 damage to this guy here. Get him off the board. Takes me to 6. That lets me move 1 for free up here. I will then play my card here for an energy. At 0 range, I can do 1 damage. That pips me up to an upgrade. And I get to jump 2 with that card, so I will jump 1, 2. And my upgrade is going to be 3 range. Feels really good with this card. So we're going to grab that. All right, yeah, that was good. New upgrade comes out. All right, and then I just have to spend an energy to get back to the ship. And at this point, there are no monsters at the ship's location. I have all 3 of my search tokens. I don't have to clear the board necessarily. I just have to meet those conditions. And I have won our first scenario here. So yeah, that's Mech Bunny. I really, really enjoy this game so far. Again, I haven't dove very deep into this yet. It is my second playthrough. I did play the tutorial scenario a couple times just to see how the mechanics work and make sure I was getting rules right. Did a little looking on BGG to make sure I had things right. Pretty sure I had things right. Please call out in the comments if there's any mistakes that I made so I can fix that before the next episode here. I am planning on continuing this run. So that first run, like I said, it was called Searching for Intel. We found the intel, we got back, and we can assemble our plasma shield or whatever now. So the next one here is going to be searching for fuel, and then the third scenario is forest fire. So probably going to get harder if I had to guess. This is the easy run in the book. So once I'm comfortable more with the game, I'll bump up to medium and probably hard. So hopefully this is a nice little series of episodes that you can watch. Hopefully I do well enough and still enjoy the game to keep going here. Loving the artwork, loving the decision making, loving the quick play, loving the little nuances of the entanglements and the range, and just having to consider little small things, but in a really tight package. Small box, really fun little upgrade choices that you get to make, and just enough in the scenarios to make the game play a little bit differently every time, so that you're not feeling stale. There is another stack of card upgrades, kind of like card 13. There's going to be some more cards coming into play. So yeah, card 13, which was the plasma shield that we had found. So just some more cards, just to, again, mix the game up a little bit. So I'm definitely very excited to keep moving on in this run. So please join me next time, and we'll see you then.